Oh, hello. This is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me all today. I am excited to be here, and I hope you are ready to discuss um, the whole thing surrounding doing readings related to twin flames, soulmates. How do you navigate that? How do you negotiate when you may have a different belief system than your clients or the people you do your readings for? Alongside that, we will be discussing workhorse decks. So I will be sharing with you the decks that traveled back to the United States with me when I went for a visit last month to see my family. So I'll show you what decks came with me. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And we're going to now get started with our intro. Hello. How are you all doing? Get comfortable in my chair. It feels good to be back. Hopefully, I don't look too crazy. Like, I don't know, camera angles are off. I haven't been really recording much during my little mini hiatus. So, bear with me. I'm getting used to things again. So, how's everyone doing? How's it going? Let me move this over. And just a second, guys. I just also want to first off welcome my new subscribers. My old subscribers and the people who've been with me for a long time know how much I love y'all. So, but I want to welcome new folks. And we are doing another Tarot Love Clinic. I'm so happy to be back. All right. Hello, Pepper Jackie. Jackie, is that, how are you doing? Oh, yay, Katie. Thank you. Thank you for joining me for the first time and alive. We're going to have fun today because I have all sorts of stuff to discuss with you guys. So let me know if there's any issues with audio or if there's any issues with viewing me because, yeah, got to check in with that. All right. So I have been wanting to have this Tarot Love Clinic also be an opportunity for people to post questions either in the comments or in my little submission form that I have a link in my description boxes where I invite you all to ask questions. Whether you are asking a question about how to do readings, how to get started with doing readings, if you've been doing them a while, how to move into another type of reading that you want to offer. Also, people might have questions for the cards. So it's nice to know kind of ahead of time how many questions I'm looking at to answer. Because sometimes when I answer questions during a live session with amongst all of you all with the cards, I just lose track. I lose track of time and space. And next thing you know, it's like 2 hours later. So I try to keep myself on track in certain ways. Yay! That is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Because let me tell you, I'm not going to even jinx us today. I'm not going to even jinx us. So with all that being said, one of my dear viewers submitted a question on the invite for this live. And the question was about guidebooks. What's the best guidebook for learning tarot? This particular viewer has been doing tarot for like, I think 9 months, I think is what the comment said. And what books do I have to recommend? So what I will do is I will put in the description box my video I recorded back in January 2018 on my guidebook collection. And I had a very lean guidebook collection. And the reason is I collect decks, and with those decks come guidebooks. And so, to help me get comfortable with reading the cards, and because I'm also a collector of them, I use that as an opportunity to use the books that came with the decks. So I only had a few books that I called my go-to books, and they are in that video. So I'll make a point to try to link it in the comment section or in the description box. But I have a revised version or a revised way of thinking about guidebooks in 2022 versus 2018 when I recorded that video. I am now very much more into looking at the guidebooks that come with the tarot decks because the creator has infused some of their own magic into the creation of the deck. And so I, in my mind, start to find commonalities, right, between, let's say, the Herb Crafter's Tarot and the Hoodoo Tarot. I start to put it all together as I'm reading the guidebooks and working with those decks. That's how I learn best. But I did have some go-to books. And on my shelf over here, let's see what I have on my shelf. It's kind of scarce because most of the books up there are devoted to like specific tarot decks, like the Muse Tarot, the Bohemian Gothic Tarot Compendium, that book, like that. Guidebooks. So I have mostly tarot guidebooks that I can grab quickly to review. But I do have the Tarot Reversals book. So I love getting different authors' interpretations on tarot reversals because I do work with reversals with my jumping cards, right? So when they jump and the card flies out of the deck and it jumps in reverse, I read it as such. So I do work with reversals. So I have that one. I have Tarot Dictionary and Compendium. So that one is something I have, and trying to see what else. Tarot for the Healing Heart and Tarot d'Amour. So a love tarot guidebook that focuses on love scenarios is the Tarot d'Amour. And Tarot for the Healing Heart deals with healing of the mind, body, and spirit type of readings and interpretations and ways to work with the cards. So I have something like my tarot book collection has now become more specialized or refined. I'm not looking at a general book anymore. I'm looking at specific things that I'm trying to do with my readings. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I'm like kind of sweaty. Hello, tribal woman. Thank you for joining. Okay, so I want more questions to come in because this will be a great opportunity for me to answer questions that you guys may have and provide tools. Like I'm almost afraid to go off and try and find this video link. I should have had it ready because I'm afraid to mess with the internet connection. But we're gonna see. Guidebook. Yeah, my tarot guidebook collection. January 7, 2018 is when I recorded this. So yeah, my only regret as I'm looking at the description box is I didn't list them like I would list the decks or books now in my description box. So there's that. So let me hop over here and post that. Link to my 2018 tarot guide book collection. And I'll put it in the description box too. Okay. Sorry guys. I'm getting back at it. Let's see if it works. So It's there. Okay. Now that we've got our question of the week out of the way, and I think I've covered everything I want to say about guidebooks. Like, read lots. Read lots, because you learn a lot from the different authors and creators' own interpretations, and then you start to forge your own. You start to form your own, and it becomes more and more refined as you learn more and do more in reading. So that's how I learned. Yeah. So anyhow, yeah, notes. And yeah, I was like, oh, I might compile something of what's on my Kindle for tarot learning and tarot tips. So maybe I might do that as a video idea, because I have a lot more digital books on my Kindle and working with the cards. So maybe I might do that. Maybe we might get together and look at the books that I have there. But not much here, because that would have cost me a lot. I just shipped all of my decks. Not shipped, they flew with me. They flew with me from the United States here to the DR, and they are here. My whole collection is now here. I'll be doing another live or video to discuss that journey and give tips on what I would do if I was moving a big old collection from one place to another, like crossing seas and whatnot. So I've got some lessons learned, and I'm happy to report that they all made it here safe and sound on the plane. I got rid of just enough decks in the States to get all of my luggage weighing 50 pounds exactly, times three. So 3 pieces of big luggage, 50 pounds a piece. That included my clothes and my toiletries and stuff like that, and my laptop and all of that stuff, the stuff that you travel with. But my decks were big, in my books. Oh, I did bring some magical herb type in incense, oils, and brews books in my crystal. Oh gosh, I brought some goodies back, but it's not really tarot related. All right, I'm all over the place. Let's see. Yes, thank you. Right, I'm like, I in my mind, I thought I was going to have to ship them using a mail carrier, and I wrapped them up in a way that they were going to be shipped. But then my sister was like, "Why don't you just try to get an extra piece of luggage and move on with life?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, yes, of course, Dad." So then the goal was to get all the luggage to the weight capacity. So yes, thank you, Groon. How are you? I'm so happy you're here. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. I've got lots of your videos to catch up on. You says I refer back to the Line Strider guidebook frequently. It tiptoes into card combinations, right? And so a lot of the guidebooks are written beautifully, and you can use those guidebooks with all your other decks. So that's why I'm like, I think it's such a bonus when you get a really great guidebook with a deck, because it's like the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah. Well, hello, hi. Thank you for joining. I'm happy you are here. Yes, I'm glad they all made it safe. Thank you so much for the Oracle deck. Oh, I'm glad you're loving it. Congrats on winning. This is one of our grand prize winners of the decks that I had in a giveaway last month. And remind me again which deck it was. Was it the Defining Characteristics Oracle, or was it the one with the Earth Oracle that you won? Now everything's like a blur. Like, that felt like, well, I guess it was last year. It felt like last year, and it was. So, yeah. It's so good to catch up with you guys. I've missed you. I've got a lot of tarot tube to catch up on. I've just been enjoying my family to the fullest. Like, it was bigger and better than I ever hoped. Christmas is past. When I lived in the States, used to be high stress for me. Now that I look back, it was high stress buying gifts, and I always end up blowing my budget. Always end up blowing my budget in terms of how much I wanted to spend for Christmas. Because Christmas in our family and my mom and dad was a big thing. So I wanted to carry that on with my kids, but it was very costly and very stressful. And it was a lot of things. And this time around, going back to visit my family, the ultimate gift was just we were all able to be together under my parents' house for like 3 weeks, and it was just amazing. It was so amazing. It was hard. Like, I actually cried. I don't cry much anymore. There's some things that get me choked up, and I get choked up with emotion. But in terms of like full on crying, I don't really do that much anymore because I've gone through a lot that has made me cry, and then I sometimes feel like I'm all cried out. Don't know if that makes any sense, but I end up crying, like real tears, like I'm gonna miss my mama, like, oh my God, this is crazy. What am I doing? Tears. So Tarot Love Clinic. Not quite romantic love, but family love. Thank you. The one with the yes, I love that deck. I use all the time. We're gonna talk about it because I'm gonna share with you guys while we're talking about soulmates and twin flames and how do we deal with that when someone's like, I'm searching for my twin, or sometimes they'll say that I'm searching for my twin flame, and that like goes against what I believe about twin flames. I'm like, are you really? Or they're like, I know my soulmate is out there, but I don't feel like I found them or will ever find them. And so, what are your beliefs around that? Like, what do you do when people start they are honing in on that, like they're like, I need to know who my soulmate is, or I feel like this is my twin flame and I can't let go, and blah blah, you catch my drift, right? And a lot of people have fierce strong beliefs around twin flames and soulmates. Like, they're holding tight to those beliefs. There's no flexibility. And some people, as readers, say, I'm not going to read. And if someone says they want to ask me questions about twin flames and soulmates and stuff, I'm just not going to read for them. And I'm like, well, I don't believe, for me personally as a reader, I don't buy into that either. I don't have the start, like I don't want to read for those folks. And I do have my own beliefs around twin flames and soulmates. So we're going to chat about that while I'll show you the decks that travel with me to the United States when I went back to visit, because I knew I was going to be doing some light work on the hotlines at my parents' house, because my parents they have A1 internet. So I wanted to link up with some of my regulars on the hotlines for the holidays and do some readings for them. And so I had to bring decks that were going to work for many different types of readings. And so that's what we're doing today. Uh-oh. We've got somebody in here. Yes. Oh, Shruti, a big move can make you more emotional. Such a big life transition. What is life like in the Dominican Republic? Well, it's, now that I've been here now a year, went back to the States and came back. It's beautiful. Like, the weather is perfect. It was, to me, freezing in California. So I think the lows, it got to like 35 at one point, 35 Fahrenheit in Northern California where I was at. And here it just stays a steady 78 degrees Fahrenheit to like 82. That's like my sweet spot. And I love the weather. I love that there's like random like little chickens. Where I live is kind of between, it's like on the edge of town. So we're very near town, but there's like farms, people who own like farms around us. So, and it's like free range. There's like chickens. A bull got loose and was running around like outside yesterday. There's chickens always running, like walking around, and there's roosters in the background. So it's quite a change for me. And I love seeing the people, interacting with them. They speak Spanish, I speak English, but I'm at a point where I am understanding what they're saying. So that's amazing. And they're really kind. And I just love the life that I'm creating here. Now that I'm finally in my space, it feels so good. I can't wait to do a tour for you guys. At some point I will. I'm just still kind of setting it up, like, because I'm kind of weird that way. Like I need it to be to a certain point before I do a tour. Okay, who is this? Who is this person? Okay. I'm gonna put you on a timeout because I don't know what links you're putting in there. Don't know what's going on there. Okay, reason, season, or lifetime. Then the loss. Then the loss. Yes. I'm from Michigan, so here in California, cocoa feels weird. I know. I feel bad when I say that. I always have to preface that with when I talk about weather. I know that it's a little much for me to be saying something since I'm from California. Like, okay, do I really know cold? Like every time I talk about cold, there's always someone from like Michigan or Canada or someone really, really cold. And they're like, girl, you don't know nothing about cold. And I'm like, it's relative. Like I have a baseline of what I can tolerate. And I think, I don't know. I don't know. I finally got used to Northern California, because Southern California stays pretty warm. But I'm from Northern California, so it can get pretty cold. It snows, like not too far from where my parents live. It snows like maybe a 45-minute drive. And sometimes they get flurries, my parents. So to me, if it's cold enough to potentially snow, then it's really cold. I know it sounds bad. I know. So let's see. So it is, what is it, winter? It's winter time. So we are in the Northern Hemisphere in the Dominican Republic. So I'm in the Atlantic Standard Time Zone, which is, yeah, it's only 1 hour ahead of Easter, but 4 hours ahead right now of California. So it took me, I was completely off. California's 4 hours behind. So I was staying up so late last week and really earlier this week, staying up so late because I'm on California time. And now, so, oh my gosh. Look at these people. I'm having to block folks today. When did that happen? Okay, 25 Celsius yesterday, and we have an outhouse for a bathroom. So negative 25 Celsius. You see what I'm saying? Like, I have no clue of what that could feel like. Like, I don't know if I've ever experienced something like that. Thank you, Groom. And welcome on TK. I'm so happy you're here. My babe peeps are up in the house. Thank you guys for joining me. So yeah, that's what it's like. But I definitely have in the works sharing more with you guys about my tarot life here in my new space, my new part of the world. So, and did I record any more content? I can't remember if I've recorded any content while I was in Sacramento, but I do have plans to go back and forth to the States. My parents are so cool. They're like, oh, you could stay, So it could be like my second home. Because I every morning it was lovely just having coffee with my mom and talking with her every single morning. And I got hooked to it. Like I finally was in a space where I could have quality time with her. Versus when I was working all the time, I never got a chance to sit and talk and have conversations with her on the daily and all, and watch a movie with her at night. And, the simple things, Okay, so let's discuss the decks. And while we do that, I'm going to talk about the Soulmates twin flames. Because here's the thing. I have beliefs around them. Do I believe in soulmates? Yes, in a way I do. I do. Here's the thing. I believe that we have the propensity to have really deeply connected soul connections with people. And some of those people out in the world, it could be several of them, not just one person, but several of them. They can have higher levels of what is it? Chemistry with you or a connection with you that's much deeper than the rest of the world. But that is not just one person. There could be several people out there for you that at varying degrees of relatability and compatibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't believe in the one. I believe in several of them. Well, it served me well in my personal life. So I don't know. That's me. Okay, all the decks that I work with are in this basket that I can take and move and go about my business. Throw them in here when I'm done after a day of readings. Put them in here. You can't see it, but put them in here. So let me take off my little banner too. Take off. And oh, before I do that, let me go back. Let's see. Fruits as the Majors video. How fun. That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. I'm gonna have to check that out. Is that a video response going around? I do not even know. I'm out of the loop, guys. I'm out of the loop. Yes, soul circles. Thank you. Thank you. Soul circles. I just don't believe in the one. So, sometimes people might get a little upset in a reading where like clients might be like, wait a minute, like I'm not liking what you're telling me about the fact that this person, is moving on and this is my one and only opportunity at love. What are you telling me? And I'm like, no, I don't see this as your one and only opportunity. But so I thought it was just an interesting thing because there are many different things that your clients will believe and you don't necessarily believe, but our job is to provide the reading for them, right? And to deliver it with, judgment-free energy and try to remove ourselves from it because this is a reading for them. But sometimes you can't remove yourself from it and you have to kind of navigate and negotiate it all, So anyways, here is my basket. I might have to pull one off the shelf. Yeah, I agree. The mini. And maybe that ties into also my belief system in terms of soulmates. It's my soulmate out there. Maybe it ties into how I believe in manifestation. Like I believe that you can you're looking for manifesting the energy of feeling loved and being in love, and that's what you're really trying to attract. Does it matter who exactly that person is or what package they show up? No, in my opinion, it doesn't matter. It's, what vibration are you sending out there that you're trying to attract and bring forth to you? I mean, yes, I'm happy that my love is shaped in the form of my husband, but truth be told, and he knows I love you if you watch this. But truth be told, that the love that I'm wanting to receive can come in any package. I don't know. Maybe that makes me cold. Maybe that makes me not like other people. I don't know. But that's how I feel and it worked for me. I totally feel like we have many people that could be compatible, right? See? There are just some that are more compatible. Exactly. Why put handcuffs on the universe and just be solely, totally invested in one person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would think that you would probably rather see what the universe is going to surprise you with. But I get it. I have been heartsick over people. I have been heartsick. And it doesn't feel that great, but that's because I have now placed all my energy on focusing on that one result, that one person, versus taking a step back and saying, actually, I want someone that wants to be with me. Is that asking too much? No, it's not asking too much. And so if the person that I have set my sights on doesn't want to be with me, like I want to be with them, well, then it's time to move on. We are not compatible. But see, again, I've been around the block a few times, and maybe I'm a little cynical. Yes, maybe I'm a little more cynical. The willingness we have to open to the hunts along the joy. Yes. Thank you, Vern. So, and then there's twin flames. Then there's the whole twin flame discussion. And so some people think, oh, soulmates are the same as twin flames. And no, they're not. And somebody can probably eloquently say it for me in the comments section about, or the chat section too, like the definition of twin flames. But let me see if I can word this. Let me see. Twin flames. It's someone that you are brought, like they're brought here, and you both are like a mirror to each other. And so sometimes that can be quite combustible, and sometimes you guys are not. I mean, you're meant to come together for a season and a reason and a season. And it's oftentimes to help you see something in that person that's reflecting back onto you. And it can feel very passionate, very fiery, but it also maybe not necessarily something that's long lasting. Does that make sense? So people have their different beliefs and misunderstandings about soulmates and twin flames. And so then they ask for these types of readings that they want in their love readings, and they're using the terms interchangeably. So you have to kind of navigate what is it, dear one, that you are really asking. So yeah. Okay. So keep pulling down my head wrap. All right. The decks that travel with me. And so these are, I think there was like 10 of them. Yeah. So you know how there's that video response going around, like which 10 decks? I think that, is it the 10 decks you can't live without? I don't know. But anyways, 10 decks I can't live without is my 10 working decks. And I talk about them all the time, but while we're talking and chit-chatting, I'll just show you. So this is my very beat up Light Seers Tarot. I'm not gonna bore you guys with flipping through. All I'm gonna say is I'm being honest with you. Like, what's in this basket is what traveled with me. And in retrospect, I'm like, next time, let me just try and travel with like 2, maybe 3 decks, 2, 3 decks. Not this many if I'm trying to bring back like hella decks. Like, that was ridiculous. But, you know, some of us have to bring a bunch of shoes with us on a trip, and some of us have to bring a bunch of decks. So there's that. Thank you. Only 10 decks. So we will say that my only 10 decks are what's found in this basket. It's what I know I can lean on for readings for myself, but more importantly, readings for others, because that's my favorite thing to do. I prefer to do readings for other people. So you got a 7 of Cups here. Like I said, I wasn't going to show you just any cards, but I'm like, I love this deck so much. I have like multiple copies of it in case I beat this one up so bad that I need to move on to anyway. I have the indie version, but for some reason I'm not called to use that one. I'm only called to use this one. this ratty one. I have newer mass market ones too, but I just want to use this one. So that's my main tarot deck. My main go-to tarot deck is the Lyseer's Tarot. I know I can count on it through most types of readings, actually all types of readings I've done with it. Love readings, career readings, life purpose readings, spiritual readings. I've even started to dabble into ancestral type readings and mediumship type readings. So it is a very much an all-rounder, good, solid working deck for me. I use it in hotline readings too, when I do get a chance to do hotlines. Don't always get a chance to do hotlines lately, but that's a good thing too. Yes. So thank you. Only 10, hashtag only 10 decks. So yeah. My love oracle. Since we're talking about love readings, and that's the vast majority of readings that I tend to do, I created my own oracle. And so most of the oracle decks I'm going to talk about are ones I created. I always suggest to people, if you love cards like I do and you love doing readings like I do, then have fun and make yourself a deck on makeplayingcards.com or printerstudio.com and try that deck out. Especially even if you're, maybe 9 months into reading, that you're going to be doing this. This is something that's going to stick your relationship to the cards. We never know how things are going to pan out, of course, but this is something that's going to last. Make a deck, and then when you start to use your own decks, things just the understandings, the interpretations, all just pop. So I have my own love oracle, and oh my gosh, guys! So my Romance Angels Oracle by Adoring Virtue. I took it out and had wrapped it because it's at my parents' house, right? And I thought I was going to be shipping those decks. And I don't know where it's at. I only have the box here. I'm so irritated. I'm so irritated with myself that I only have the box. I don't have the guidebook. I don't have the deck. I'm going to ask my son, because I think I was asking him if he was interested in taking the deck. But I'm a little upset. That's the one deck that did not make it, and that was thanks to me. Who's whistling? Who's whistling? There's a lot going on out there. So here is look how beat up. Look how beat up that is. I do plan on making this available for folks who want it. And I'm making a guidebook for this one. So a full-on guidebook, and I may change the art. I don't know. I actually have, because all I'm using when I'm creating these decks is stock images that are available for the use to be able to do what I'm doing. So here's Time to Release Your Ex. Soulmate energy. Keep your options open. Religious factors at play. Free yourself. This is a real connection. Reconciliation. Playfulness is needed. This could be the one. Baggage is affecting the union. Okay. True love. Flirtation. Chemistry. You can't see this one, it's kind of faint. New love. Past life connection. Again, that's another hot button thing where you have to negotiate beliefs. Like, do you believe in past lives? Do you not believe in it? How do you plan to approach it when someone is going to ask you for said type of reading? Past life connection, codependency, sex is affecting the relationship. I always want to say union. Passion, you need to set healthy boundaries. So I won't keep going, it's a bunch of them, but it's my love oracle. I think it's like 54 cards. And yeah, I use it all the time. And I have a backup. So in case once this one is like, girl, put it away. Put it away. Actually, I'm going to put these away over here. So I know that I've already shown them to you. It is. Thank you for agreeing with me. I know I talk about it a lot, and I am going to challenge myself this year to have a second or third workhorse deck. I used to have, maybe not in here. I used to have like three good workhorse decks. It was, the live singers for a good long while, but I worked with the slow tarot quite a bit. And which other one did I really enjoy? I don't know. It escapes me. I'm trying to look up here and see if I see anything that'll stand out. The Triple Goddess Tarot used to be a workhorse deck for me. There's something about the Triple Goddess Tarot that I really resonated with. But I beat that deck up so bad. It's like completely arched. I started to edge it and then stopped the project. And now I don't have the pen that I was using to edge the deck further. So I got to plan on how I'm going to remedy this situation. But I really like that deck. But I stopped using it because it just wasn't shuffling right anymore. So, yeah. But the live series, it's been going strong. There will be times when I might incorporate another deck, and this is just decks strictly for client readings. Oh, is he? Oh, the delivery truck. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, the Afro Tarot. I'm looking at that on my shelf now. The Afro Tarot, it started to get into workhorse status, but I don't know. Maybe the Numinous Tarot as well at one point. So I have some that come in and out of vogue in my reading for others. For myself, I have a whole nother collection of decks that I use. So we're just really talking about my decks I use for other people. Right? Exactly. When you make it for yourself, it's tapping into your own intuitive archetypes. And it's just something magical. I remember I forgot which YouTuber had said it, and I was like, that it resonated with me to think about making a deck. And now I'm having an even more deeper connection with the love oracle I created because I'm writing the guidebook for it. So that's been fun. That's been fun. Yes, you have an amazing deck, by the way. Amazing. You do. So, yeah, let's keep going because I could keep chatting all day. So anyways, twin flames, past life connections, soulmates, all that good stuff. So this one, I call it the symbols of attraction. Symbols of attraction. And this one I designed because clients will, I don't know, they maybe ask something like, what does this person like about me? Or they want information about the person the next person that's coming into their love life. Oh gosh, this is a lot of noise outside. Sorry guys, they're delivering stuff for landscaping. Wow. So again, a deck I made. I do have one or two decks, maybe three, that is not one that I created. I use a lot of oracles too, Um, with my tarot, I do layers for like of readings. I like them to talk to each other. So I always like to have a different oracle decks on standby depending on the type of reading. So I'll use maybe anywhere from one, usually I'll use one tarot deck and then maybe 1 to 3 oracle decks to talk to that tarot when we're doing a reading. Does that make sense? Yeah, sexual chemistry between you and your potential partner. Ambitious, flirtatious, sensual, honest, total package, morals. They like your morals and your kinky side. Like daring, wandering spirit, marriage material, background, mysterious. All right, we'll stop there. So that's another one. Put you over here. Put you over here. Then, of course, I was like, I need a deck that speaks to what are some areas that are turning people off on you. So I created what's called a love repellent oracle. See the little cactus? See the cactus? So I did that. They may find you suffocating. Maybe you're a control freak. Yikes. Sometimes you're a little irresponsible. My goodness, you are hard to please and things are just never good enough. Your belief systems. Hypersensitive. Forcing will onto others. Playing games. You like to play them games. No. Skeletons in the closet. Too many skeletons. They keep falling out every time I open the closet door. Unappreciative. Assumptions and guessing. That sucks. You're messy. And messy could be messy like I got a mess in the house, like it's all a mess. Or messy like you just like drama and you just all up in it. No sex appeal. Demanding too much time. So you see where this is going? You see where this is going and why, this one I don't always pull out because sometimes there's a way that I would have to word the questions in order to make sure A, you're not offending anyone, and B, that you're yielding the most good information from the reading with said deck. Okay. So yeah, let's see. Oh, I love the Tarot of the Ages. That was one of my first ones that I really, really connected with. And that also, you probably will see, well, maybe early on, my early videos that I would do readings for the collective, like astrological readings and things, I'm pretty sure the Tarot of the Ages probably popped up. Love that deck. I still have that deck. That one made the trek here. It's in the shelf. And I do have some ideas in the works on how to showcase the shelves of my decks now that they are all here. So I'm going to share them with you. Yes, I love that there's folks who get what I'm saying about how we work with the decks. Sure, I could, just work with one deck, the tarot deck, or maybe just one oracle. But I have several decks. I like to have them talk, and sometimes I'm in the mood for lots of cards on the table, sometimes not. Just depends. I love the vibe of the layer deck. I always enjoy to see it in your stream. Thank you. Yes, so far, on my playing cards, I have the Defining Characteristics Oracle, which is in the basket, and one with the Earth. Actually, let me show you one with the Earth first. The loved one, the loved ones, because I count the last three as loved ones exclusively. They are not available yet because I'm thinking about doing guidebooks for them, and I don't know yet on the art, like the images. Maybe the first printing or the first go round, I will do just what I have available, what decks or the images I'm working with. And then over time, maybe find an artist to work with to come up with images. I came up with the guide, like the keywords and the guidebook, and then I would just need an artist to make them come alive. But this one is available, different card backs. It's one with the Earth Oracle, and I use this one all the time. This could be also in addition to using them with my love Oracle, this one, or for career readings or any other types of readings, maybe family issues, other types of relationship issues, life purpose type readings, questions that fall outside of all the categories. I use this Oracle deck. So this one I do have available on my playing cards, and it's on my website at abundantlifetarot.com under the tab ALT decks for sale. So you can find it there. Grounding, desert. See how he's going off. I'm one that likes to look at these like photographs and then allowing my imagination to go. Dusty road. Okay, so I'm like, things are a little dusty, unclear at this time, but what you need to continue to do is to take one step forward. Continue to go anyway, even though things are murky and unclear and dusty. It's a dusty road ahead. Very soon you'll be at a crossroads and you need to make a left or a right, but you won't get there unless you're taking your steps forward. See, summer, forest fire, rose garden, gotta be planted, what is now in bloom. I just love using these with the light seers because I love how they talk. You'll hear me say that all the time because it's such a thing for me that I love. Submerge, daredevil, succulents, the path of the ancestors, night, hide, going home. Let me see. Going home. I'm covering the little person who's going home. Wait, there. I was like, I can't get it. I am finding, where we go? I'm finding my Labyrinth and Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. A Workhorses as well is a guidebook available for One with the Earth. I do plan to write a guidebook for this one. Not yet, but it is this one and this one. The other, my love repellent ones kind of speak for themselves and the symbols of attraction, but the love oracle, the one where you need to set healthy boundaries, that one is going to have a guidebook. And then I want to do one for One with the Earth. So when that time comes, you will get like the first printing, my dear, because you won the deck in the contest. Just so you know, it is in the works. Oh, excited to find where you take them. Ah, thank you. No problem. Oh, honestly, summer is my favorite card. Oh, I love summer too. Doesn't it give you all the good feels? I'm like, where are you? There you are. Could be, yeah. I'm actually quite fond of the season of summer. I'm a winter baby, born in the wintertime, but thrive in the summertime. I'm like, hello, Jackie. So good to see you. It's been a while, hasn't it? I'm glad we got to we're hanging out. Oh, you are welcome. So that's motivation too, my dear. So that way I can get to writing because I'm a little over halfway finished with the Love one. I thought that one was a priority because people who get a Love Oracle tend to also want maybe some direction and how to use it and all that. And then this one was going to be the next one I work on. I just enjoy writing a lot. You guys can already tell. Like, look at my description boxes. Like, I love to write. Love, love, love. So it just comes second nature for me. Lightning, treehouse, volcano, commune, sunset, sacred ruins, autumn. So you see I have little seasonal ones. I love the deliberate steps card. Love getting that in our reading. Tide pool, lavender fields. So I do plan to do like readings with these decks in the future live streams where we just throw a card or two for folks. So you can see how I work with it, how the dialogue that I'm having with my querent and while I'm interpreting the cards. And we'll be using the decks that I have. So use this one a lot, a lot, a lot. It's not as banged up as my Love Oracle. So that's a testament to the fact that I do probably 80% love readings out of my book of business is 80%. So yeah. Summer is my season and born in winter too. See, it's, hummingbird is like right there. Look at that. It's just like we're all connected. And I think even the hummingbird just being right there is like magic. We're magical folks congregating right here. Okay, so the Defining Characteristics Oracle is a very new one I made. And I made it available because for some of us, we are doing readings where and let me watch the time. We are doing readings where we want to get specifics about a particular person. Now, sometimes you don't even have to use it for defining, like for someone's traits. It can give you, I'll show you an example in a moment what I'm trying to say. The impatient side of me is like, skip the guidebook, but it will be great to wait. Right? I know. I like skipping the guidebook, and actually maybe skipping the guidebook and making it available. I don't mind when creators do that, where they put the deck out first and then later the guidebook comes later. Some people, they're very like, no, don't do that. I want to wait, and I want everything to be packaged and put together. And I want it all at once. I'm not one of those people. I'm completely okay with the guidebook coming later. But not everyone's like that. But I am. So this would be what the new backs are like for the one with the Earth Oracle, except green. And it says one with the Earth. This one says the Defining Characteristics Oracle. I like how it looks when it's all spread out. Makes me happy. So sometimes I have querents who ask questions about descriptions of a person. They want to know what this person may look like. Who is this person? Who is the person who did this? What is some defining characteristics about this person? Black hair. So Let me start back here. So that's why I created it, because when I went to go look for a deck that could work for me for that function, because I'm always now looking for decks that serve a particular purpose now. And we'll be talking about that in another live stream where I talk about where my collecting habits are today, 2022, since my 2020 death year. I did a death year 2020. 2021, I moved, made the big move. 2022, I have some thoughts and feelings, and I'm going to do some sharing. So now with the decks that come into my collection, they have to serve a particular purpose and a niche for something in the reading that I'm doing. Right hand dominant. Why is these upside down? Let me find some that you guys have not seen. I like freckles. I actually love freckles, like in real life. Let's see. My green eyes. We're going to keep going. Oh, and troubled. This one is one I want to talk to you guys about because I did a reading for, I think it was on the hotline, and the trouble card came up. And so it wasn't even necessarily I was even remotely talking about a potential person. The fact that I shuffled it and then trouble came up, it took me down a whole different line of thinking or intuitive hit to convey to the querent. And it had nothing really to do with the defining characteristic. So I like when a reading kind of takes you down another little path that you weren't expecting, you know. So yeah, let me see. Oh, I like that. The DRE expansion set. That would be great with my own little images that I've taken. I could do that. That I could do. The expansion set to the one with the Earth Oracle. Like my travels expansion pack. There you go. So in this little bag is my career and money oracle. I've done, I think, a deck in focus or a walkthrough of this deck, so I'm not going to show too many of them. I talk about it all the time. I think it's 100 cards, and I use it all the time for client readings, and I use it for readings for myself, for business, work-related, money, finances, even health-related. And it's got 3 key little bullet points. Now, some people complain about the price. It is a little on the pricey side, but because I use it as a workhorse deck and it replaced like 3 decks that I was using to get these type of answers, or 3 different oracle decks, and combining into one. So, and this is the deck I use for client readings. I justified the expense. And it's a quality deck. I use it all the time. It's taken a beating, and yes, it's glossy, but it's one of those glosses on the deck that if you're going to be using the deck all the time, this is what you would want on it. See? Yeah. Risk. There is something better. Mechanic. Envy. And there's no guidebook because you got the text on the cards. You don't need the guidebook. I'm all nosy. Look who's driving by. Right? Huh. And you see how that the unknown or unasked, you see how that just opens up things. You can go in all these different directions. And I love where Spirit takes us when that card comes up. That one would be if I came across that deck that had that particular card. Yeah, I often get that too. It's like, so we're going to go down this path today, are we now? Army now. Now, almost done, guys. We didn't even talk really about twin flames and soulmates, but that was just, I just wanted to, like, plant just thoughts and seeds around certain things. And just reminders to those who get readings that your reader is human and have their own experiences and own beliefs surrounding that. And so there's a whole world out there of different belief systems. And so it's fun to negotiate them. And it's also a good idea not to offend people too in the process. So as readers and people delivering readings, you just have to be mindful of that and patient, because sometimes you lose your patience dealing with folks who have different belief systems. And I think for me, where it gets frustrating is when I can tell a querent is disempowering themselves by believing or having a strict understanding of twin flames or soulmates. And it's almost hurting them, that belief, when you're outside the situation as a reader and you can see things differently. And then you're just like, I don't want that for you. But it's not for me to worry about that part. My part is just to deliver the reading and be the conduit of information and be the translator and interpreter of what's coming through, So, Sacred Spaces, another oracle deck I created, not available on Make Plain Cards, but at some point it will be. I just have to pace myself. Airplane. This is another one that I use, sometimes not for looking for sacred spaces or spaces and places in a reading, but you see how that would be very handy in a reading. But oftentimes it speaks to, like if the airplane came up, this card, it could speak to having a higher vantage point of looking at a situation. It could speak to a need for escape and a need for travel, a time to get away. You see where I'm going here. Fine dining. I'm someone that likes to partake in fine dining. Alley. Poolside. Country. Amusement park. Marina. Spa. Animal park. I don't know how I feel about animal park. Fitness. Online. Gotta have the online. Sacred space could be waiting. You could be waiting in your sacred space. Beach. Big city. University. Getaway. Classroom. I even have a gas station one. I'm not going to keep going because one day I will put it, I have a full flip through of them. Probably when I'm actually making them available for Make Plain cards. This one did not, let me grab this other one. This one, the Dark Mirror Oracle, this is not a Workhorse deck, but it ended up traveling on my carry-on with me, coming back from the United States to here. It was one of the ones I left in my parents' house when I moved here. I ended up really liking this. I was surprised. I'm not gonna lie. At first, I didn't know really how to work with this deck. Didn't really resonate with it. And yeah, now I resonate with it a lot. And I've been called to use them for my Mystery Mystic Monday readings. And they deliver. They deliver. And I wanted to, while I was on the plane or waiting and, during layover, I was like checking this deck out. This one says, Peaceful Among Thorns. Let me see, let me find you some that I like. Bride in a Cage. Calling the storm. This is a low scarabeo oracle too. Is this me? Triumph of lies. Gilded regret. Blinded to pain. Now, just think about that. Blinded to pain. Ooh. That's something to think about. Oh, God, look at that. Obsession. Atonement. Anger and chains. It has a little guidebook in multiple languages, but it's a good guidebook. It is a good guidebook. So what I liked about this oracle over the Santa Muerte oracle is that not only is it numbered, but it has a key phrase here. So you don't have to go jumping off to the guidebook unless you want to. Whereas with the Santa Muerte deck, which is also a low scarabeo oracle, I always had to look at the guidebook, look at the number and go look, because they don't have any keywords. And some people, that works for them. It doesn't really work for me as an oracle. So I end up selling that deck, the Santa Muerte oracle. But I liked it. I loved the artwork, the colors, and the guidebook was great. I just didn't like the fact that at the time when I got the deck, I had to constantly go back and look at the guidebook. That was frustrating for me, and I had to make some tough decisions about what goes and what stays in the collection. So, and I'm really, really feeling this deck. I actually use this for a reading for me, like my own personal reading. And it's amazing. I won't bore you guys with this one either. I talk about all the time, just like I talk about the Light Seers. Power of Surrender Oracle. This is such a great deck. It is a wonderful deck to use for your own personal readings for yourself or for readings for others. Sometimes you can just do a standalone reading. You don't have to do, you don't have to do like I do, where I incorporate it into a tarot reading. Usually I have to do this as my closing oracle message, and 1 to 3 cards will jump, and those will be the messages that are being divinely shared with the client. What I'm going to do before I think I'm going to close very soon, and we'll pull a card for us to see what do we need to surrender or surrender to. But I'm just going to show you a couple of more, because the extra deck that was not a part of the 10 was the Dark Mirror Oracle. But I just threw that in there because I was like, I need to talk to you guys about it. So it might as well be now. My Ancestral Healing. This one also is not available yet on Make Plain cards, but it will be, but it is massive, massive. It's like, I haven't counted it, it was 160 cards, lost count, but let's just say 160 cards. And what I do is I just intuitively take the sections that I might divide them up, shuffle them, not the whole thing at the same time, but I shuffle bits and pieces, riffle shuffling them. And then I'll intuitively take a stack. And that's the stack that I'm going to work with for a client reading. And it's interesting. That was a message for me. I won't share that one. One of the cards was America. The other one was Hermit. And so I won't bore you with that. But I use this deck a lot as well because, yes, it's massive, but then I can pick out cards and lump them together and make mini decks from them. One of these days, I'll do a video showing how I specifically work with it. Again, it'll be around the time when I'm like, hey guys, you want to play with this deck? You want to play with it? Forest. Confidant. I like the Spirit card. I have like 4 ritual cards in this deck. So different rituals, like depending on what pops up. Into the Shadow. planted in the earth. Thought patterns. So you see where this is going. I could be here all day with you all, but I won't be. I will, because I could go all day. I think on Saturday, I'm just doing the top 10 indie decks of 2021, little kickback that we'll be doing on Saturday. Next week, I have lives coming. Our usual standard Thursdays is my favorite time of the week to hang with you guys. But I have a lot of different ideas, so it'll be in live format. Because, yeah. Last but not least, this one is my Traces of Evidence Telling cards. I've done an unboxing, I believe, of this deck. I want more deliveries. And I've been using this deck for Mystery Mystic Mondays, but I have started using it just for other types of readings, strangely enough. I don't know. Here's Bones. I don't know why. It's the same with the Dark Mirror Oracle that I just started using them. Greedy. Anyways, I'm not going to show all of them. Prod. And I like them. And I'm getting this pretty little bag to go with it. While I was in the States, I was like, let me just buy some pretty little, attire for my decks, my babies, the ones I work with the most. So yeah, because I've been starting to explore different types of readings, I've had to kind of look into getting all sorts of decks to accommodate those readings. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about this. This is the Mildred Payne Secret Pocket Oracle. This one's coming back in the fold, and I'm excited about that. That'll be another day as well. That'll be another day. Blind to pain is so real, right? Like that is such a condition that people deal with all the time. And for those who have been blinded to pain, we really relate. And so that's why I'm like, oh my God, they're loud. Brian Froud's Fairy Oracle. I've heard of it, of course. I just have to Google it and check it out again. So yeah, guys, I have kept you guys long enough. I did not mean for the live to go this long, but we had a lot to catch up on, didn't we? We had a lot to catch up on. It's been a minute. I'm back. I'm excited because I have a lot of different things to share and talk with you all about. So yeah, good things to come. And I hope you join me on Saturday. I forgot the time, but it's Saturday. I cannot not talk about my favorite indie decks. Every year I do this where I talk about the indie decks that I was loving throughout the prior year. So I guess that's a clue that I need to wrap up with all the outdoor noises because I can't even think. Can't even think straight. Thank you, my dear. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, all of you, for joining me. Thank you all for watching the videos that I put out. Thank you for joining me on the lives. You guys mean so, so, so much to me. And it makes it fun. It makes it fun for me to come back. And yeah, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Oh gosh, what are they pouring? What's going on? Happy New Year. Take good care. Bye, Auntie. Bye, friends. Much love.